Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about getting started in real estate with no experience. Now some of you might be saying, how is that even possible? But one quote that I really love says, the expert was once the beginner. So what does that mean? If you consider somebody as an expert in real estate investing, obviously that person didn't start that way. They started as a beginner, learning these concepts with little to no experience. But how did they get started? How did they do it? So I was in the exact same situation with no experience in real estate, and I'm gonna show you in this video exactly what I did to get started with no experience. I was just a person that had passion and excitement and energy for learning the real estate investing market and actually diving in and doing it. Throughout this video, I am gonna tell you exactly how I got started in real estate and how I parlayed my first few deals into multiple deals. I'm also gonna cover how to educate yourself and where to educate oneself. I'm also going to cover that one area that is the most important area when it comes to real estate investing to be really good at. Finally, I want to help you understand why jumping in and just doing it might be one of the most important ways to get educated in real estate. And lastly, talk about your skills and your niches and how they might parlay into you doing well in real estate. Ready? Let's go. So my first deal into real estate was one where I was very familiar with the town that I grew up in. And there was a lot of action, a lot of energy in the town. It was growing, and I wanted to buy an investment property. Now I didn't have any money, didn't have any experience, but I had been looking for months to try to find a deal because I had a couple of partners that were interested in investing in real estate. And they had money. I didn't at the time. And so I had found some fourplexes that were being sold. And as I called the gentleman who was selling the fourplexes, I said, hey, I'm interested in buying multiple fourplexes. He'd reply back to me, well, how many are you looking to buy? And I had thrown out a number 10. He'd come back to me and said, wow, if you're willing to buy 10, I would say buy 14 because we have 7 down one row, 7 down another. So a spine of 14 fourplexes. And if you can do that, I can take the price from $275,000 down to $250,000. Ultimately, I got him down to $245,000. When I went back to my partners, they had said, listen, we're only interested in purchasing 10 of them. So I was kind of in a conundrum. I didn't want to go back to the person and say, listen, I can only get 10, but I still want them at the price that you'd offered me. So I found another gentleman who was interested in purchasing properties up there, and I assigned 4 of those fourplexes over to him on a contract assignment for $255,000. So I had him under contract for $245,000, assigned the contract to him at $255,000 for 4 of them, making $10,000 per fourplex or taking $40,000. Once I had that money, I was in a situation where I could start doing some of my own real estate. So I started looking in an area that I loved. It was kind of a vacation area, but I always wanted to own property up there. And I had looked and there was a new development going on up there and they were selling lots. I bought 2 lots for $27,500. When I purchased those lots, I was able to get a bank loan. I had some income that showed that, and I was able to put money down on those. The awesome thing about it, it was in a growing vacation area. One of those lots that I bought for $27,500, nearly 5 years from the date I bought it, I was able to sell it for $110,000. Now that was a great success story in real estate. I have some that aren't so great that I'm happy to share with you as well because I want you to see real estate isn't always wins. We want it to be wins, but sometimes you take some losses, or I don't look at it as losses, I look at them as lessons learned, which is part of the learning process, right? That's one way to educate yourself. You never fail down, you always fail up. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the expert was once a beginner. That beginner has to start somewhere. They start with a desire to learn. You've really got to become a sponge. You've got to be willing to absorb every bit of information that you're willing to get. You've got to go places where you can get information. And I will tell you what I was really good at, what my secret power was when I first got started in real estate, is finding deals. I remember going home at night, looking on the internet and searching so many different sites, Googling properties for sales in this place and that place, and I got really, really good at finding good deals. And if there is one area that you want to educate yourself on, it's being able to find deals. And in today's world, there is so much technology, so many ways to be able to find deals. And if you can find deals, negotiate deals, then you are going to have a ton of success in real estate. And not many educators will tell you that, but honestly, that is the secret sauce, is finding and negotiating the deal. The money ultimately is made in the deal. So what are some other ways to educate yourself? Well, one that I really like are local real estate investment clubs. Now, I think most major cities have REI clubs that exist. And if you don't have one in your city, what a great way to start one. I actually go to one in the town that I live in. It's a small town and there's probably 10 or 15, but it's awesome just to network with these individuals and talk about the deals that we're doing. It's a great place to get educated. What I've seen in some of these REI clubs is they bring in speakers or guests that present ideas and educate individuals on the different facets of real estate, whether it's lending, purchasing, or just good information to know if you want to get started in real estate. You know, a gentleman who I've known for a long time, probably the last 22 years, he is a huge real estate investor, probably one of the biggest ones out there. I actually worked with this individual about 22 years ago. We worked with the same organization. And I remember he got started buying his first rental property, bought another one, just kept duplicating that until he had multiple rental properties. And at that time, he then decided to start an investment club in the city that he was in. That expanded and grew. It grew to where he then became the person that was educating everyone within his club. And now it's grown so much that he's probably one of the foremost educators in real estate investing. Now, another way to get educated in real estate if you don't have any experience is through a coach or mentor. Now, there are differences, right? To get educated by a coach or mentor, a lot of times that's going to cost you money. But if you think about it, one deal in real estate, doing it the wrong way versus doing it the right way, could cost you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars if not done properly. So paying for a coach or mentor isn't necessarily a bad thing to do. But also, there are mentors, there's individuals who've lived a good life, they want to give back, they might be willing to take somebody under their wing and impart to them some of the knowledge, or just be a voice of reason if you have questions in your real estate journey. Another part of that, not just coaches or mentors, but mastermind groups. I'm part of a mastermind group still, even with the experience I have in real estate. It's full of people that have diverse backgrounds, whether they're just getting started in real estate or they've had 30, 40 plus years in real estate investing. And I still learn things all the time. So learning is something that's always ongoing. It never stops. And if you have that type of mindset that you can always learn something, you're going to do very well. Ultimately, if you're going to get started in real estate, how awesome would it be to be involved with a part of real estate investing that fits your passion or a skill set that you have? I've seen a lot of people who've had experience in construction and they get involved in real estate because they know exactly how to rehab a property, they know how to spruce it up so it looks better, and usually they're out finding deals and they're doing fix and flips. They find a property, they buy it, they fix it up, they turn around, they flip it and sell it. I met a guy just a few weeks ago. He was an electrician, journeyman electrician, but he had a lot of experience in real estate construction. One day he got tired of fixing up properties for an investor. He went out and found his own deal. He fixed that up, he got under contract, he fixed it up, turned around and sold it. He then parlayed that into multiple properties in multiple different states, and today he is worth millions of dollars doing something that he was already doing, that he loved, that he had a passion for, but now he was the recipient of the benefit of his skill set, improving an asset to be worth more than he'd originally purchased it for. At the end of the day, if you want to get involved in real estate with little to no experience, really it's jumping in and doing it. There's no better way to learn than actually going out and doing something. I have met so many people over my career that were in the same boat. When you ask them their story, the first thing they say is like, I had no money, I had no experience, but they jumped in and just went for it. A gentleman that I'm pretty good friends with that I've met about a year and a half ago, he first got started, we were in a mastermind group, he had no experience. Today, he has flipped over 30 different properties in less than 18 months. So is it possible? It's absolutely possible. And I know if you have a desire to get started in real estate and you don't have any experience, hopefully you've gleaned a few things from this that will benefit you. And also, if you have any ideas or any thoughts on other ways to get started with little to no experience, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm happy to reply to those so we can have a good dialogue going. Also, don't forget, I'm giving away my short-term rental calculator that if you enter the information, all the details, it'll spit out for you whether it's a good purchase or not. And that link is below, aaronsfreetraining.com.